Hello, good morning everyone. Good morning Samir. I saw your email on that. Good to know that you are able to connect to other databases Oracle and other your local databases. So that's nice, Samir. So did you try out something new on adding the tables and exploring some other stuff? Good morning, Sagar, Shweta, La, Jayashri. Good morning, very good morning. Hello, good morning, Kalpana. So hope you all had a nice weekend there and you tried something in Tableau as well. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, friends. Okay, so we have, I think, Sagar here already. So I think the other participants are joining a bit late, so I think it's fine. We shall start the class. We have waited for 3 minutes time. Okay. So friends, last week we had stopped here at this slide. So exactly here, what was that we were trying out? So we are trying out something called text table with a highlighting feature. Okay. So how it is going to highlight? So for an example, this is going to be a normal table. Okay. So here they have added the measures. So what different things that you observe in this sheet? Why this is being shown as measure names instead of individual measure names? And why there is a filter called measure names there by default? What is happening? And the next thing to notice in terms of the color. So if it is yellow in color, that means it has had some good, fair amount of sales. If it is green in color, light green in color, it is good. If it is dark green, the sale is above expectations. So that's what this color coding indicates. So this is also giving us some fair amount of idea. So what do you think is working at the background and how we can achieve this? Sagar is saying because we have multiple products with the main product. So are you saying it for the measure name, Sagar, or for the color coding what we are seeing? Okay. Okay. Okay, friends, we'll try this out and we'll see how this is working. Okay, so I'm opening my Tableau, connecting it to our sample superstore. Okay, so this has loaded my default template. Let me reopen Tableau once again. Okay. I'm going to connect to our sample superstore data. Going to connect to the orders table. Okay. So now what we will do, Now I'm going to take a discount, friends. Okay. I'm going to take the discount, drop it in my text box of my marks card. And next, I'm going to take the quantity and drop it in my same text box. And now, next thing what I would be taking is, I'll take my discount based on product name, or maybe subcategory. Let me take some small fields because products would be like bigger one which will have more number of products there. Let me take my subcategory, drop it in my groups, or let me drop it in my columns. Anything? So I wanted a text table now. Okay. As soon as I click my text table option, friends, can you see something is changing here? Automatically, this is getting converted as measure values, and this is getting converted as measure names, and I'm able to see something called measure names in the filter by default. Okay. Sure, Kanya. We'll just see this in some time. So what has happened? There should be some changes to the data type, or something should have changed that. In a moment we'll check this. Yeah, no problem, Manikandan. I can just redo the same. Okay, friends. So here I'm just clearing the sheet. I'm just doing it once again. So I need discount. I need my quantity. Okay. And I need my subcategory. So I'm going to press control, discount, and quantity. These three things I want it as a table. So I'm just going to my show me and clicking an option called text tables, the first and default option. So as soon as I do that, you should have seen there is something called measure names which is available here. And not my and here I'm able to see some new box, similar card called measure values is appearing here. And inside my measure values, I'm able to see discount and quantity. And also I have a filter which is applied by measure names. These things are happening by default, friends. I'm not doing anything. Okay. Let me just show you what is that. So here it is listing me all the measures, whatever I'm having here, discount, profit, quantity, and sales. Out of those, it is just selecting two of those measures, the discount and quantity alone. Selecting those discount and quantity alone, okay, and after selecting this discount and quantity, this is basically showing me this filters called measure names. You can observe the same here, okay. So this measure names is available. So this measure names is nothing but which is available here, friends. This measure names and measure values. So when it would be really useful is we'll just do it without dropping anything, right? So let me drop my subcategory alone, okay? I'm just dropping my subcategory on my row shelf, okay? And instead of dropping my other things, I'm just taking these measure names and dropping it in my column, okay? And what I'm doing, I'm just taking my profit discount. I'm taking my discount, dropping it inside this measure name. So this measure names are nothing but, friends, these are the options, okay. So once I drop a measure name, I need to drop one more thing called measure values also. So I'm just double clicking on my measure values. Can you see what is happening? All my measures are coming by default. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking this measure name once again and dropping it in my filters. And I'm going to edit the filter. I just want discount and quantity alone. I don't want the other measures. I'm just applying this and clicking on OK. So this is the same view what we have to do manually, friends, in order to get this. However, when we are doing it directly through this, by clicking on this subcategory, control click on discount, control click on quantity, going to show me, and clicking on text table. The same thing is happening at the background. However, we are able to save more clicks here. That is the only advantage. Okay. So now you understood, friends, what is this measure names and measure values are. Nothing but when you are selecting more than one measure at a single point of time, you can directly basically drop this measure name, and whenever you wanted more numbers to be added, more measures to be added, you can just drag this. For example, I need profit also here, so I'm just dragging this and dropping it here. So instead of dropping it there in that pane, I can just do that here. So that's just one advantage of just dragging and dropping. Is this clear, friends? Okay. Okay. Now what we'll do, now I need to highlight these by colors. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take colors. I'm just going to drop one of the measure in colors. Okay. So I need the color to be displayed based on my profit. Okay. So for that, what I'm doing, I'm taking my profit, taking it, dragging it, dropping it in my color shelf. So as soon as I do that, I will be getting a legend here, color legend, which is basically showing like orange is for less profit and green is for more profit. So I'm just going to click on this color and clicking on edit colors. And there is something called stepped colors. I'm just going to give that, and I'm going to say like there are going to be five stepped colors. So based on my profit, you categorize them in four different steps. Okay. And I wanted to choose a different one, which you say like red, green, diverging or something. This is what I want to make use. I'm just clicking on apply and clicking on OK. As soon as I do that, my columns value, the text value, whatever I'm seeing, that is getting changed here. So why my text color is getting changed, that is my font color, because I just dropped my profit in my colors, and based on my profit, whichever item is less profitable, you highlight those in red. So which is more profitable, highlight that in green. But I would like to have a better way of representing this. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to this marks table and changing this type to square. So now my normal text table becomes a highlight table here. So what is this highlight table? This clearly shows me which item is most profitable, which is least profitable, which is medium profitable. I'll be able to see that very easily here. So I can easily say these items are less profitable, these items are more profitable. So this is like a normal change only, friends. The only thing is you just need to change this mark type from the default, which is automatic. That would be default. You just need to change it to square type, because this is going to be this. It is saying, this mark type is saying basically you highlight the squares in this color, whatever you require. So that's what you are saying to them. You got this, friends? Everyone? Okay, friends. So, Sagar, is this clear now how to do this? So the same thing is what you all need to try it out, friends. If you all have attempted the assignment one, you should have got a question something very similar to this. People who haven't worked out on the assignments, please do that and try attempting. So that is when you will be learning something different there rather than having it the whole thing. Yeah, sure, Hasini, I can repeat the colors. That's not a problem. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Shweta, the colors, why I did change it to 4 is, so basically I wanted to have 4 different categories of items listed here. So I felt like 5 would be too much coloring, and that's why the reason I didn't want to have it as stepped colors by 5. I can have it by 5 also. Yeah, if I'm having 5, you can just have one more color as well. So I just didn't want to have that. So basically, this would also look fine because here it is saying the lowest item alone it is highlighting, and medium items are like in this color, and then the light green, and then the dark green, like that it is going. So maybe like if too many colors are there in one window, that will distract you so much, Shweta. That being the reason why I chose it as 4. No, it doesn't change it automatically. We have to manually change it. Okay. So I'm just repeating this colors part and then coming to Salim and Kanya's question. Just a moment. Okay. So earlier what was happening is we just had this kind of text table there, and in colors part I just took this profit and then dropped it in colors mark. So as soon as I did that, my based on my profit, my items got selected by default. Okay. So now what I'm doing, I'm just went here to this colors and clicked on edit colors and made it as step colors by 5. 5 steps or 4 steps I will be having it. Okay. So I just click on apply and click on OK. So now after making it as step colors, I wanted these coloring to happen based on, I want to make it like a highlighting, not just font color alone, just I want to make it as highlight table. So what I'm doing, I'm just going here and changing it option type to square. This mark type, I'm changing it to square. So as soon as I change it to square, I'll be able to see something like this. Can you see here? So this is what I did, friends. Hasini, is this clear now for you? Okay, friends. Now I'm just going for the questions in the order what I have received. Okay, so first to Kanya's question, I have a, whenever I'm dropping a discount measure in the sheet, the value is showing as 6080%. Okay. Kanya, it should be an issue with your data type. Can you please share your screen? I'm making you as a presenter. One moment. Yes, Kanya, I'm able to see your screen. So where you say that you are getting it as percentage? Okay, you are taking discount. Not able to hear you well, Kanya. Can you please type in, or if you are not able to talk, can you please type in? Oh, okay. Now it got resolved, is it? Okay. I think it should be an issue with the type, or you must have selected something when you are playing around. You should have selected some values and dropped it somehow. So because of which it might had come like that. Okay. Okay. If it is fine now, then it's okay. I'm just taking that presenter type. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you. I'm just making the presenter as now for the next question. What we have. Okay, next question is from Salim. Why do dimensions or measures appears as whole number and the same format displayed there are no decimals or no negative sign? Okay. Okay, Salim, I'm just trying to get your questions. Why do dimensions or measures appear as whole numbers and the same format or displayed there are no decimals or negative sign? Okay, so the data whatever you are seeing, it might be appearing as whole numbers. Maybe you must have seen it that from the data source. They are appearing as whole numbers in the sense, for example, this profits and other things you are saying. The discount, the profits, this one, right? I believe this was your question. The profit, whatever you are seeing here, it is represented in a decimal format. And the same thing when we are seeing it over here, that is not appearing. Was this your question, Salim? Salim, if you are there, can you please let me know if that was your question? Okay. So for that question, can anyone tell me the answer, friends? So here Salim's question was, so here I am able to see this profit as a decimal part. Discount is also as decimal. But whenever I am trying to drop this inside this sheet, that is getting changed to a whole number. Why that is happening? No, Shweta, here the question was something different than that. So the same number I'm taking, the format I'm not changing anything. This is the same format only, but why it has to change here? So here I'm able to see that profit is one value negative alone, but everything is as a whole number only it is being done. Why that is? Okay. So no, this is not actually converting anything, friends. So what are you able to see here, friends? Sum of discount, sum of quantity, sum of profit. What this means? What is happening to these individual measure values? It's basically doing an aggregation, right? So that's what here when we are not showing the aggregate values, I'll just remove this text table for a while. And when you are not showing these aggregate values, it's taking the discount for individual quantities, friends. So whenever I'm trying to do this aggregation, it is basically, so here I don't have a subcategory also, I'm removing the subcategory. Profit and discount alone I require. Can you see now what is happening? Though you might not be able to see the values directly. I'll just remove this from colors. So here nothing but what is happening is, friends, this issue is, it's not an issue, it is basically due to the aggregation what we are doing. So whenever we are aggregating this particular values, automatically the values are getting summed up, and here if you just see, click on this view data option, you should be able to see. Now it is basically taking by individual rows the data is getting taken. Nothing is getting converted or nothing is getting changed here. I'm just going to this previous view. So this is what it is. I'm just right clicking somewhere here, friends. Okay. And clicking on view data. What is happening here? For example, for this measure name quantity subcategory binders, and this is what the value is and this is what the profit is. If I'm just clicking on full data, can you see here? These many items under this subcategory binders. How many items are there? 1523 items are there, friends. And what is the discount? Discount is this much. What is the number of records? 1523 records are there, and profit is this much. It is basically adding up all these values from top until my very last record. It is adding all these values and then displaying me a summarized record here. So this is my overall profit. Can you see here? This is what is happening for this one particular record alone. So what is happening in the case of bookcases? right click here. I'll just right click here, click on view data. On a book cases, profit, quantity and discount are the measures. These are the measure values. If I'm seeing individual data, there are 228 rows for each and every category, and it is basically aggregating me the values. The first list has a set of book cases, and the next list has set of other categories. Likewise, each and everything has different data, friends. So, under book cases subcategory itself, these many things are there. Profit, quantity and discount, these many items are getting deferred for these three measure values. So, though the values are in decimal or it is there, why these values are displayed as a whole numbers is because of this aggregation what is happening there. It is basically adding up all these values, computing the total and displaying you the total alone. Are you able to get me, friends, what I am saying? Tableau is computing everything as a background for us. We are just able to see the numbers alone displayed. So Tableau is doing pretty much everything at the background. It is computing you the aggregate, it is taking you the summary and just giving you the results alone. So some people might argue the same thing Excel also does. Excel can do this for maybe 10 lakh records. For more than 10 lakh records, can we do the same? Okay. Okay, friends. So Manikandan is saying, I understand the values for aggregated for profit is decimal. Can we change the format? Yes, friends, you can change the format. Yeah, there is a possibility that the aggregated value can be in decimal also. For this example, it is not in decimal, friends. Or else it can be there in decimal. So that's possible. That's quite possible. Okay. Okay, friends, we'll just see how to change the format of this. For example, this profit value is there, right? How will you change the format of this? So you can just right click here, okay, and there is something called format this particular value. So you can just do it here from the source. There is something called, under default properties, there is something called number format. So instead of that number format, you can just change it to percentage format, or you can just change it to number decimal format, or you can have it as a custom format. Whatever format you type it here, that format will appear. So for example, I can just set it as number custom with 2 decimal places, and I wanted a negative values also. I'm clicking on OK. Now can you see, I just changed it for profit, and you see here, friends, the profit is displayed as with decimal places. So generally, if you just go and change the format of this, you can basically alter the decimal values. Yes, Hasini, you are right. So this is what we are doing here. So we can just change the number format of this, and we will be able to make a change to this. But one thing you should understand, that by default, these very small decimal places can also be displayed if it's required. But in terms of aggregating this the whole data, that is basically getting hidden. So it's very minor things, but in aggregations, this is what it is. I'll just show you once again, friends, how to change the default format. You just go to this profit, right click here, go to default properties, and click on number format. And as soon as you do that, you just come to this window, and I just click on custom. I just give my decimal place. So this is how you can change the default format of the values. Okay, friends. So coming to the next question, how to add subtotals and row totals. So I'm just going to this worksheet level, and there is something called show summary is there, or you can just go to this analysis window and go to this total. You can just show column grand total. Can you see now? You'll be able to see a grand total value that is getting displayed here. Just because the number format of this is in decimal, this also has a decimal value. Okay. Yeah, friends, I'm just coming to the questions in the order what I have received it. There are like quite a couple of questions and people are waiting. Let me just finish in that order. And we had one question from La. La, I'm sorry, I think I have closed that question by mistake. Can you please retake the same, La? Okay, so until I get back from La, I'll just go to Manigandan's question. So here he's saying as soon as I drop profit in my colors, the measure is getting removed. So Manigandan, I'm just making you as a presenter. You can let me know what is that. La, in the meantime, you can please type in your questions. I'm sorry for that. I have closed it by mistake. Okay, Manikandan, I just made you as a presenter. You can let me know. Okay, can you tell me what you have done? Okay, subcategory, discount and profit. Yeah, okay. You just dragged and dropped these. Okay. And you selected a text table. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the one what you did now is, Manikandan, you have removed the measure. So that's what Tableau is assuming, that you are removing a measure. Can you do Control Z? Control Z. Yeah. Okay. Now you go to the measures field on your left. Go to the measures field towards your left. Yeah. Now take the profit, drop it in colors. Yes. Now you should be able to see that the earlier thing what you did is you have basically taken out from that particular place. So you have removed a measure value. So that's why it was showing as the measure value is not appearing for you. Or else it should have shown to you. Okay. Okay, Manikandan, thank you. So now coming to last question, how can we do the same thing based on a filter? Like I want to generate a report and make color coding based on CPU percentage. How can we do that? So on a filter, okay. So how to do the same thing based on a filters, friends? So for that, writing a filters lab, basically I should introduce to you to a concept called Manikandan, thank you. I'm taking back the presenter, right? Okay. So, so for this lab, in order to make it based on, for example, you need a CPU percentage and you need to show that in a filter. So there is something called, we need to create something called calculations for this lab. So we have to work on creating a calculated field here. And we need to apply some formula. So for example, if you have the CPU percentage here, you need to write some formulas here, like using if and else statements. If this discount, for example, here we have discount, if it is greater than 0.5 or something, discount is greater than 0.5 and then the value is lesser than some other quantity. In that case, you might have to come out with something called formulas for that and then drop that formula to your color. So basically now I will be covering this topic as we move on with, proceed on with the other topics here. But we can achieve this easily in Tableau. I will be showing it to you when I am introducing you to something called calculations. So that point of time we will be seeing this in detail. Yeah, we will take the same example itself. Whatever you had, we'll take the same examples and we will take it up using that. But if I introduce you to calculations, that might be something which will be doing out of sync. So with the course curriculum there. So that's why I didn't want to move to calculations now. Okay. Okay. So Jayashree has a question. Once we complete the visualization, how will we validate the data for the worksheets and dashboards if we incorporate any calculations in the worksheet? So if you are making any calculations to the worksheets, how will you incorporate the changes? So here, one thing you should be clear, Jayashree, the changes whatever you are making is going to be at the Tableau level alone. So if your question was related to something, you need to change it in your data. That is, in your data source, if you want to make any changes, and based on the calculations what you are creating in the worksheet, like passing on some parameters or capturing user requests, these kind of things, we cannot do that in Tableau, Jayashree. So if that was your question, please correct me if I have understood it something different. So here what I assumed is you cannot make any changes to that existing data source. So whatever changes you are making, it would be at the visualization level only. Okay. Your question is how to validate your data with the source. Okay. So validating your data with the source is Jayashree. The only thing what you can do is, it is just going to be a read-only copy of your data. Whatever you can validate is, you can just take this output, click on this view data option, right? So once I click on this view data option, you can just see what are the total number of rows that is available here. And if at all you are doing some summary here, for example, like this case, like in this case, if you had done any summarized data like this, what you can do is you can just click on this field, right click here and click on view data. So this will basically tell you the profit value is this much. So you can just compare this summarized result, or if you wish to see the full data, you can click on this full data and compare if you are getting the same value there in your source. So here nothing they are going to change, it is just going to be a replica of your source data. So nothing would be changed compared to your source to here. In case if you want to perform validation, you can make use of this option. By right clicking here, click on view data and a summary appears. You need to compare if you are getting the same result there in your source. Okay, Jayashree. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Hasini. Okay, friends. So now we'll quickly go to our course continuation. So here we have just seen about the text table values and items. Okay. Now it's time for you to answer some questions. Can you all answer the first one? Okay. For the first question, many of you are saying it is color, size and shape. Color, size and shape. And others are saying it is color, detail and shape. Some are saying it is A. Okay. What is for the second question, friends? What would be the answer for second one? Question 2, it is D, C. Which is the odd one out? Okay. Okay, friends. We'll see the answers now for this. So for the first question, the answer is the manager of a company demands an analysis. It is color, size and shape. So the reason why they have chosen option D for first question is to differentiate categories by color, the markets by size and discounts offered as shape for better visualization. So not if you cannot put it in detail, you can also have it in detail, or you can have it in labels and other things. But the better visualization you get it when you are basically giving it based on what values you are seeing there. So here basically what it differentiates is because there are different categories there by colors and markets is available. So when you are showing it by size and discounts which are offered as shapes, these things basically help you out in getting out better visualizations. That is the only thing. And it can make the user better understand the data. And for second one, the odd one out here is legend. Rest all are part of marks card, marks shell, and legend itself is area in Tableau which can be used to. Also legends are something like color legend which is available, which has different colors, color codings and things. Okay, so with this we are done with Tableau's granularity features. Now we will get introduced to something called highlighting. So we have seen this highlighting already, but I'll just show that to you once again. Okay, so I'm taking here the categories. I'm taking category. I'll take subcategory. And we'll take profit. And I'll take a chart this time. And I'll take my category in color. So as soon as I drop my category in color, can you see this pane, friends? Or the legend appears towards my right. A color legend appears towards my right here. And what this color legend is going to do, it is having a pen symbol kind. Can you see here? This is basically a highlighting option. Whenever you are able to see this pen symbol there, once you are selecting this item, that item alone gets highlighted here. So that item alone gets highlighted. Similarly, once this pen underline pen symbol is not highlighted, you can just remove this highlighting and you can just click on this. So once it is available alone, it will get highlighted. Okay. So for example, it's furniture when you are selecting, this highlighting feature will not work. So that is the thing what this highlighting items can do. Basically, if you are enabling this highlighting, you need to, it will come with an underline symbol there. So that which means that highlighter has been enabled. Okay, so this is what the highlighting feature, what we have it in Tableau. And so this is like something you can enable it by default. Okay, and There are by other ways also you can do that. You can just right click here. Can you see this option? Right click here and you can just click show highlighter. So this is also going to highlight your subcategory only, but you can just select these items like individual things. For example, art alone you want to see. You want to see for binders or bookcases alone, or copiers alone, or envelopes alone. So this is a slightly different highlighter which you can enable it by, so you can just first I will show you how to hide this. I'll just hide, select this inverted down arrow, click on hide. So assume that I don't have this highlighter, by mistake I have closed it. I want a different highlighter. In that point of time you can just right click here, you can just click on show highlighter. So now what happens, a different highlighter comes in the picture. This is for furniture, this is for office supplies, this is for technology. Like that you can just change the type of this highlighter. So this is how you can do it, friends. Highlighting option in Tableau. So this is how it is highlighting. So this would be really useful whenever there are more number of graphs there, and which is basically confusing us so much. That point of time this highlighting option will be very useful for us. You can just click on the show highlighter. Then whenever you are having various subcategory items, this can really help you to show these things really in a far better way. Okay, if you want to highlight two or more options, two or more fields in highlighting options, that is basically not possible, friends. So at one point of time we can just highlight only one item. So we cannot highlight more than one item there, so that is not possible. So only one item you can highlight at one point of time. Okay, friends, we'll just continue from here onwards. Maybe after a break of 5 minutes. If you would like to have a break for 5 minutes, you can take it now, as it is 8 here. And we'll just go for a break for 5 minutes, then we'll see about the basic graphs, what and all we can create. We all shall go for a break for 5 minutes and we shall come back again. Okay. Okay, friends. Sure, Manikandan, I can just show that highlighting option. So you are trying to do the highlighting option, but I'm not able to see the colors. Okay, I'll just show that to you. So colors, you are not able to show it, is it? Okay. So for viewing the colors, first thing what you need to do is, okay, so I'll remove this particular thing. I'll hide this. I'll remove category from color. I'll take this category, add this to color once again. So here what happens is, friends, once you remove this particular mark, right, what happens? So there is something called show highlighter. So either that way you need to enable that, but you will not be able to see the color legend there. I hope this is what the issue what you are facing, Manikanda. Okay. Yeah. So just to ensure that, you just need to right click here and click on show highlighter. So if you want the color also to be enabled, so what you need to do is you need to just recreate the worksheet once again. One would be like category, subcategory. So first take this category, put it in your columns, and take the subcategory and put it in your columns next. And then go to the rows and take this discount. Sorry, yeah, take this discount or yeah, something. And then now you go to this same category and drop this now into colors. Then you should be able to see a color legend also. There you can highlight it here only. So once you close this legend, it will not appear once again, friends. So we have to okay, Shalini. Yeah, we were today discussing about text tables, and there were a few other questions which was going on. Yeah, definitely you can continue with us. You can see the recordings and then you can continue back with us. So we're just going to start with the basic graphs, what we will be seeing now. I think if you can continue, it's fine, or you can continue from tomorrow also, not a problem. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Fine, Shalini. Okay. Okay, friends, I think now we all can see about the next things on the basic graphs. Yeah. So Sagar wants to see the decimal grouping part again in our sheet 1. So this is the decimal part what I just enabled here. I enabled the decimal part for this, friends. So how did I do that? I just clicked on this profit, right clicked here, went to default properties, and there is something called number format. I just changed this number format to custom. Okay. Okay, friends. Now we shall proceed on with the basic graphs. Okay. So this is a bar graph. So instead of this discount, what I will do, I'll just take this profit and drop it here. Okay, fine. So now after dropping this profit here, friends, like why do you think bar graphs are better to visualize? What do you think, what kind of information does bar graphs are better to visualize? So can you tell me something if you know about bar graphs? You should have used it. So when bar graphs are really useful for you? When it is not. Yeah, Kanya, that's right. Definitely bar graph is going to be for comparing. So comparing all values, you mean to say bar graph will be best? Comparing, I accept that, yes. So that means comparing all values, this bar graph is best? Okay. So bar graphs are best when comparing the value difference between one quantity and other one is very large. When the difference is large, that point of time, yeah, right. That's right, Hasani. Whenever the changes are very large, for example, comparing this and this, that can easily tell us like, okay, it has a huge difference. However, instead of this category, I'm just putting on the fields just like that. From this. And whenever you are seeing, I'm just going to sort it, okay. So sort, I can just use this option, smaller to bigger. I can just use this option. So if you see in this group, all this and this is looking one and the same, right? Profit is 652.6527. Here the profit is 6946. So when you are comparing smaller values, unless until I go and click here, then only I'll be able to see that, okay, this is 6964 and this is 6572. Or else I'll be looking, these two values are one and the same only. It doesn't make much difference for me. So this is where bar graphs will not be useful. It will be really useful when comparing large differences, and this will be really useful in seeing negative values easily. So bar graphs are best whenever we are having more negative values. So that point of time, bar graphs are the best to use. You got me? Got it, friends? Any questions? So bar graphs, we know like it is really good for comparing, but it is good for comparing negative values and when the differences are very large only. When the difference between the charts are not that large, that point of time, bar graphs may not be that helpful for us. Okay, friends. So, this simple bar graphs what we had. Next thing what we'll do is, so when is line graph useful? I'm going to take a line graph. So when is line graph really useful, friends? That's absolutely right, friends. So analyzing the data against time, when time is involved, when the changes are very small, when to represent the data in an organization for studying trends of one particular parameter with another, line graphs are really useful. Thank you, friends, for the great answers. Yeah, you are right. So the line graphs are really helpful for us when the changes are very small in nature. Even a small change. So this is a very small change from 49,000 until the next year whatever we are seeing. So I'm just going to make it as, instead of year, I'm going to change it by day change. And you see what has happened? This is day 1 and this is day 2. This is day 3. It is 4. Like that, I'm able to see my changes. Even for a day level, it is able to represent me the data in a nice manner. It's over a period of time you can just see the data really in a better fashion. So that's where the line graphs are useful for us in most of the terms. Okay. So Prashakti has a question. Can we show more than 2 colors in a theme? Okay. So showing more than 2 colors, 2 fields to have colors. And we have more than 2 fields to have colors. Okay, so when you are trying to dragging and dropping one particular field, you see what happens. For example, I am going to take profit here and dropping it in my colors. Sum of profit would be coming. And next thing, what I would be doing, I will take my sales, drop it in my color. So that point of time, this will not work for me. So instead, what I have to do, maybe I can just drop this measure values there. Instead of dropping it in the colors, I can just drop this measure values there. And inside the measure values, I can just take sum of discount and I'll remove the others. And when you edit the colors, you just set some color there. Maybe I'm just setting it for now. But here, when you are applying the colors for more than one measures, Prajakti, this will not give you the right thing there. So, for example, sum of profit is there and sum of sales is there. Okay, you will have 2 measures then. So, at that point of time, you can have 2 different colors. One color chosen for sales, one color chosen for profit. So that is possible. So now we will be getting 2 things here. One would be the sum of profit and the other one is the sum of sales. So you can just go here and change the color for the sum of profit and sum of sales, and you can just select some of the default colors there. So you can just apply that color here. And similarly go to this pane, sum of sales, and then go to the colors, edit the color and change it from green gold to red blue diverging or something. So you can basically individually customize the colors like this. You can apply more than one measures also. Yeah, we will see more on these, but once we discuss more advanced concepts, I will tell you the other ways of seeing the same. Okay, friends. So next coming to, so we'll just see what things what we have looked now. So we just saw about the bar graphs, when to use the bar and when not to use. So bar graphs are generally used for comparing larger changes or the difference in the data among the groups. Bar graphs are best when the changes are larger and also it can represent the negative values easily. And next comes the line graph. Line graphs are generally used to show time series data. It is one or more variables vary over a continuous period of time. When smaller changes exist, line graphs are better to use than bars. Okay. So when to use pie charts, friends? When to use pie charts? So assume that I am having a category and I want to see the discounts based on my profit based on various categories. Assume that I am just creating a pie chart here. I am laying on a pie and I am getting a pie chart here, friends. Okay. So this is what I am getting. I am saying furniture is contributing this much, office supplies is this much, and technology is contributing to this much. I am able to see these three different values which is available here, friends. These three values I am able to see it differently there. And pie charts are better when you want to split the data into multiple groups and each slice is going to be a pie here. So maybe, so you can just see the sum of profit automatically angle came, sum of profit and size also the angle came. So size and this angle will be the same values, that will be the same measure, and the color is going to be the category here. So instead of this category here, friends, let me add my subcategory. Assume that I am just adding my subcategory into colors. Now you see what is my size. I am just extending my size a bit further so that my size of my circle is looking bigger. Okay, so this is what I am seeing, and when I am comparing large amount of items, large number of items, like the subcategories have so many items, does this pie chart look good, friends, for us to understand? Can I ask you now which is the least performing item? Can anyone tell me which color is that? Assume that I am just enabling the text here. How messy this is looking. So when you are adding too many slices, right? And it's basically making it really difficult for me to understand like what color is for what. And I'm seeing like this is a color which is there, and I just have to find out that there is a color like this, and which is like on bookcases. And there is something called supplies, which is even lesser than that. So I'm not able to get a clarity in this pie chart. So when there is more variation in the data, pie chart can be used. You cannot represent percentages here in pie chart. So representing percentage values would be very difficult. So this can really make your job look very difficult. So pie chart can't be used. So what is an alternative to use when we are having so many slices like this, so many categories, subcategories like this? Which chart is best, friends, to use? Instead of pi, what I can use? That's absolutely right, Shweta. It is bar charts what we can use. No, Kanya, not heat maps. We can make use of bar charts instead of pi. Can you see here? What is the recommendation what Tableau is giving us? Though we are using pie charts, it is recommending us a bar, horizontal bars. Can you see that? Tableau is very intelligent enough for us to give us what the right suggestion there. So it always gives you the right suggestions there. So if you go by the recommendation of Tableau, automatically you will be selecting the right chart. So you need not worry much. I'm sorry if someone had a question. I think I closed some of the windows. Can you repeat that if you had a question somewhere? Okay. So no, Samir, like the pie chart size, we need to have a default size for this. So this is the maximum thing what you can have for a pie chart. The size whatever we saw there. So that was like the default size, Samir. So more than that, you cannot increase the size of the pie chart. At least in this view, this is what it is looking like. Maybe you just need to work on some formatting positions, and then maybe you can try increasing the size. But yeah, one more option is there. There is something called the view, what I'll be introducing it to you sometime later, but I'll just show that to you. So here there is something called view there. So there is something called fit width, fit height, and enter view. You can click on this enter view, Samir. That will make it look at center. So this is something like used in formatting options, and you can just make it even look bigger. So you can just have fit width, or you can just have fit height, or you can just make it entire view. So once you make it as entire view, then you will be able to see it even at a larger picture, because it's basically adjusting the format of this chart to appear at the middle of this portion. So that's what you can do. Yeah, Shweta, thank you that you know this already. Yeah, that's really nice to know. You did this entire view before I said this. Haha. Yeah, Samir, that's right. So once we add the data, it would be even better if we can increase the size. Yeah, correct. As we add more data, it will look better. But in general visualization perspective, friends, having more than 4 or 5 colors itself is disturbing. Our human brain can understand like almost maximum 8 colors, I believe, at one point of time. So if it is more than 8 colors, then it does basically will confuse us. Yeah, I can just show that entire view once again. Okay. So this entire view is nothing but just changing the option. Earlier we had a standard view like this. You just need to go on top, just make it entire view from there. So once you change this to entire view, automatically it comes to the center and it gives you a bigger pie there. And further, when you want to increase the size, you can just click on this and increase it further. But this would be the maximum size what we can do. Yeah. Okay, friends, so this is what we saw. And we have one question from Prajakti. Size of tables is more than supplies, even if it is less profit. Size of tables is more than supplies. So I didn't actually get this question, Prajakti. What was this? Size of the table is more than supplies. Okay, here in this categories you mean to say? Okay, size of tables is more than supplies, is it? Where is supplies? Okay. So this is basically based on the profit percentage there. Yes. Here also there is an issue there. I'll tell you why the profit value, though this is higher, yeah, it is, yes. I'm able to get your question. Friends, if you understand the question here, can you see this? There is tables which is having profit of minus 17,725 and there is supplies which is having profit of minus 1189, but the size is different. Why do you see that? Minus 17,000 is lesser compared to minus 1,189, right? But why this is showing it in the other way? Kanya is saying pie charts always take the absolute values. Okay. Okay. So here in this colors, friends, yeah, that's true. That's true, Kanya. Pie charts cannot represent the negative values. So pie charts cannot represent a negative value, friends. That's true, Hasini. That's right. Negative values, whenever you are representing, those things will not work there. So that is also a disadvantage of pie chart. So that's why we cannot make use of pie charts, because in a 360-degree circle, representing a negative value, where you will represent, because the circle starts from 0 to 360 degrees, right? So from there, how would you represent the negative values there in a circle? That's why pie charts are not that feasible, friends. Okay, fine. So that's what about the pie charts what we had. So pie charts do not show the change over time. Representing negative value, not representing negative value is one of the drawbacks in pie chart. So showing individual values in a pie chart. Okay. So how would you show individual values in a pie chart? Individual value is nothing but enabling the text there, friends. You just need to, there is a text symbol which is available on top. You just click on those and that individual values will appear by default. Okay. Now moving on to the next part. So we have this pie chart, and then I'm going to show you something called dual axis charts. So how to get this dual axis charts, and what are these dual axis charts? So here, dual axis is nothing but, friends, whenever you wanted to have like more than one measure there in your view. For example, I want a discount and I want profit. So these are like two different axes, right? This is one axis, this is one axis. So I want it to be seen based on my categories. Taking my category, dragging and dropping it here. So I'm having two different axes. So how to make it as a single axis here? So now I have one axis for discount and I have one more axis for profit. I would like to see these two as a single axis there. Okay. So I think someone asked me like how to apply colors individually for this. So what I can do is I will take this category and there are colors what I can apply. So I will first take this category. There are, as soon as I drop these two marks there, you can see like there are three things which appeared in my mark shelf. One is all, one is sum of discount, one is sum of profit. So why these two things are coming? This indicates that this is going to be a different view there. So that's why each and everything is coming differently for me. Okay. So for now, like I'll remove this category for now. I'll just keep it as it is. Okay. And from color also, I'm removing the category for all marks. Okay. So I'll remove the category for these colors, friends, and for all the marks, I'll just keep it. Okay, friends. Now we have discount and we have profits there. So how to make it as a dual axis? You just right click here on sum of profit, okay, and make it as there is something called, can you see here dual axis is available? Can you see this? I'm just clicking on this dual axis and you can see now my discount and profit is in my same axis now. Okay, now I'm just going to my marks table. I'm going to change one of the mark type as line. And let me take the other mark type. I'm changing it to bars. And I'm just going to take one more item, like maybe segment or something. I'll just drop it. Can you see now, friends, what we are able to see? There is a line graph, what we are getting. Let me take order date or something, which would give you more meaning. Yeah. So, year over year, how my profit has changed and what has been my discount. So, this is basically a comparison between my discount and profit. So, before getting this view, I'm going to show this to you once again, friends, don't worry. So, I just need to right click in one of the axes and click on synchronize axis. Why this is to be done? Because when you are comparing two different values, one would be in thousands and other one would be in hundreds, this will not make much sense there. So, it is saying, as per this diagram, it is saying, as you increase the discount, there will be more profits. But this will give you an incorrect conclusion because the axis is totally wrong. In order to do that, you just need to synchronize the axis. That point of time, it is just having the discount at a same level, you see. It's not that high. So instead of discount here, the comparison can be based on sales. Would be a good measure to compare rather than profit, because that will be somewhat better. Okay. So I'm just showing this. I'm taking year of order date, sum of profit, sum of sales. How to make it as a dual axis? I'm showing it now. I'm right clicking here the sum of sales. Okay. I'm changing the calculation here. I'm going to change it as dual axis. And after I change it to dual axis, I see both are being in bars only. I don't want both as bars. I'm changing the mark type of sum of sales from bars to lines. So after changing it, now what I'm doing, I'm just going to right click here and click on synchronize axis. And now this will make better sense there. So my first measure is going to be my sum of sales, and my second measure is going to be my sum of profit. This is saying there is a direct relationship between this and this. As and when the year progresses on, moves on, my profit keeps on increasing year over year. That's what it is saying. You can just see that here. So you all got, friends, how to make it as a dual axis? You all got this? So whenever you are making something as dual axis, friends, it's very important that you synchronize the axis also. The axis what is available here should be here also. It should have somewhat similar value, or else the comparison what you are making will not make any sense. Yes, yes, Kalpana, that's right. So the same thing we can achieve, friends. See, the same chart we can achieve by clicking on profit, and I need sales. I need it based on my order date. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to will show me and clicking on something called dual lines. Can you see this? I can just try it out this way also, friends. This also does the same thing. You get profits and sales. Maybe sales, if you want to change it, the mark type differently, you can just change the mark type of this alone and change it to bars. You can do that. The same thing can be achieved using a different way by selecting on show me also, which will make your task look even simpler. But what is happening at the background, in order to understand that, you just need to see that dual axis is checked. And here synchronized axis, we'll see if it is checked by default. No, it's not checked. You can synchronize it again. You can do that. So sum of sales would be your first and profit would be second. Yeah. Now you can just right click here and click on synchronize axis. You can just see that moving on like this. So the same thing can be achieved in show me also, friends. Okay? Everyone got this? So this is how you will achieve a dual axis chart. So dual axis is something like allows you to have more than one measure to be represented in two different ranges. By using two different mark types for both the measure, dual line can be converted into dual combinations like this. So you can easily make out dual axis like this. Okay. Next we will see, I think it has to be area chart. Let's see what it is. Yeah. Next, area graph with dual axis. The same thing here. Instead of representing it as a normal bar, the same profits we will take. We'll take the sales. We'll take the order date. And we'll get, can you see this? Area chart. Areas for discrete, dual combinations. So this is something like what I can choose among. So once I click on this dual area chart, then something like this comes. Okay. So here I can just change the color in some time. So sum of sales and sum of profit is available here. I will first put sales and then profit. So for now, like this is the area chart that is there. I have to convert it as dual axis. I right click here, click on dual axis, and can you see now my profit is in orange. I can just highlight that, and my sales is in this. I'll just enable the highlighter. Sales is this and profit is this. So what I can do here is I can right click and synchronize the axis first so that it is looking somewhat better. So sales is the pink one and the this one is the profit. The other color, the orange is profit. So you can just see the same chart represented in form of a area chart also. So what is the contribution of sales versus profit? Automatically you can do that as well. So this is something very similar. The order date, sum of sales and profit has been shown. In terms of that, showing a trend with relative performance. You can make use of these charts at any point of time, friends. Either the area chart or the dual bars or normal bars, anything as you wish to. Okay, friends, it's time to check what you have understood. So what is the answer for question number 3 and 4? Okay. For first question, most of you have answered it as bar chart, and for the second one, it's dual graph, is what I'm able to see. And for second one, some are saying it is line graph, some are saying it is dual. Okay. And some in bar also they are saying. Okay. See here, one more thing is change in trends of sales. So what does this trend of sales mean? It is basically going to, over a period of time they are saying. Period of time is also mentioned. So you should understand it fully. For first one, it is bar graphs which can have negative values easily represented. For second one, it's going to be a dual graph. Here, why that is? Because graph is preferable if you want to show profit earned with change in trend of sale. So profit and sale we are going to take over a period of time we need to compare. So for this, if we take a line graph alone, it won't be enough for us because you need to compare two measures. So what is the understanding for a dual graph, friends? Dual graphs allows for more than one measure to be represented with different axis ranges. By using different mark types for both the measures, dual line can be converted into dual combinations. So whenever you are having more than one mirror, graph to represent that would be your dual graph. Okay. So this is what we had for module 2, friends. So we are done with our module 2 today. And there are assignments for you to do. So you need to work on these assignments, friends, when you get time. Please work on this so that it is useful for you to understand the next concept. So any questions here, friends? Are we clear with this module, what we have completed? We have seen about extractions, the data sets and other parts, and we went into some more things there. And here we saw some basic charting. Please let me know if you had any questions. So I'll quickly introduce to this module, module number 3, Visual Analytics in Depth. So these are the concepts what we'll be seeing: sorting, filtering, grouping, and graphical visualization. So this module is totally a hands-on based module, friends. So I'm just leaving it to your discretion. If you want to continue, I will continue this module, or we shall continue it tomorrow. I'm okay for anything, friends. Yeah. So it would be a logical stop for us. So we will continue this module tomorrow, friends. That should be fine. So we just stopping at 10 minutes prior for today's session. We'll have a stop here, friends, for today. We'll again continue tomorrow. Okay, friends. Thank you. They are putting the recordings in incorrect modules, is it? Okay. Yeah. Actually, for them they are assuming within 1 or 2 classes one module has to be completed. But that's why they are putting the recordings on incorrect modules. But that is not the case, friends, because we are having slightly over time. The reason is I am going a bit slow, because we want to have a understanding better there. So maybe that's why they are doing it. Anyway, I'll try informing them on this. Let me see. The person who is recording it would be a person. We will not see the recordings. He just uploads it after the recording is done. So that's why this is happening. Anyway, I'll try to inform them that whatever incorrect modules you are putting it, please do that, because we are going not on time. Maybe just for now we are just moving somewhat delayed. Anyway, it's fine, friends. We can wrap it up. Not mandatory that we need to wrap it up within 15 classes. I'll try to see to go slow as possible, because your understanding is important for me than the pace of this class. Okay, friends. You all have a great day there, and people from other locations, you have a good night, and see you all. Bye bye. Thank you, love. Thank you, Sagar. Jai Shri. Okay, Shantini, you can type in your question. What is that you type? Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, Manikandan. Have a nice day, Hasini. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Okay. Shantini, for your question, why when you are trying to save these modules, it is not allowing you to save it. So as I told you, Shantini, this Tableau public is something which works on only one thing, that is, it works on only public data source. So it works on a extract data source by default. Okay. So whenever you are not able to save this in your local, what you do, you log in into your system, you save it in the public. So your public will be like your common repository where you can save it, or anyone at any point of time you can open it and see it. But when you want to download it, you can download from public as TWBX workbook and open it using Tableau reader. You can do that. But when you are saving it, you save it in public itself. Don't try to save it in local if it is not allowing it you to save it in local system. You got it, Shantini? So that is normal. That's normal behavior of Tableau public, because that's how it works. It doesn't allow you to save it in your local system anyhow. So that is a normal behavior. You don't need to worry about that. Okay. Sure, Shantini. Thank you. Thanks for the great questions, friends. And let's all catch up again tomorrow. You all have a great day there. See you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Same to you. Bye-bye.